having me here. Obviously, it's an honor to be part of Tidal Radio. I just love the idea that this is, because it's very much almost like my own dream, yeah, if you get what I mean. To have your own ensemble of something that is of this stature is really dope. So I'm honored to be here, that's for sure.
Yo man, we have a lot to talk about. We don't have that much time, but let's get right into it.
I have time, so it's
yeah man, so let's get right into it, my brother. Starting from the top, man. I want us to go way back. Do you remember a song which was called Sembera?
Yeah.
Sembera, featuring Nick Nola and Rabadaba and Lyrical Proof, I think.
And GNL.
And GNL, yes.
And GNL Zamba.
Yes.
That is...
which year is this?
That's 2000, and I did the original song in 2009, end of 2009.
Yes.
This is a time when I just met. So I remember I wanted to do a morning show on radio that was completely about hip-hop.
Yes.
And so I came up with this idea of a show called Super Saturday that was every Saturday morning, and it was basically just reviewing Ugandan hip-hop.
Yeah.
And I would also infuse it with like international styles. Like I remember we played like the Storytellers edition of VH1 of Kanye West, like on air for 1 hour.
Wow.
So like this was 2008, man. Like this is not recent stuff. So I felt like I always wanted to, what we enjoy on an international level, I wanted to enjoy it here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So that is basically what I created. And this show was almost like an on-air 106 in Park, where we had battles and all these things.
Nice.
And so my biggest dream was to interview the biggest rappers. Now the first ever interview I ever had was with Lethal. I don't know if you remember Lethal.
Yes.
And he was with Hans Tactic.
Yes,
and
from Raw Records. Right?
Yes. So they came with a song called So Serious. And that song basically, I remember I was even in the video, we showed it at Stick Out. Like it was just ridiculous how I was getting into that field of work. And that's when I started getting attention of people. But just having met Hans Tactic on that day, he was a rapper. And then he told me his story of how he was in Nkumba and he used to make beats using Cool Edit,
Cool Edit Pro.
Yeah, Cool Edit Pro, and all these different songs, like all these different softwares. So I was really intrigued, because personally I was never really thinking that I would do music. So because of that, I started becoming friends with this guy. So I would go to studio after that and they tell me jump on the track. So that's how I started doing these things. And then I met, of course, the Rabadabbas. I met GNL and Nick Nola. Nick Nola was always like that R&B guy that everyone wanted on a hook.
Yes.
Right? So we called him in studio, and he had this song called Babe, something like Come Closer, Baby. Like let's switch it up in Uganda.
Yes.
So it's Sembere, and so that song was recorded out of jokes, I can't lie. Like it was not something to say, let's go kill it, let's go do this. So if you listen to my verse in that track, I was just talking about me in a bar with some girl, and like that
song was huge, because I remember like there's that famous line, I'm not but I dig you like a farmer, something like that. I remember that song was getting heavy rotation on the only urban station that was there at that time, because I think the other stations weren't really playing hip hop music as much.
They were trying to be too parent careful. They were trying to be too PG rated.
Yes.
Sanyo FM at the time was very hard to have your song there. It was very impossible, because if you did not have like top quality production, if you're not Peter Miles, if you're not Navio, you wouldn't get yourself there. But this time we came with saying Tomboli de Chidandaringa hip hop ezanya, and so that energy was very aggressive. It was very rebellious as a hip hop culture, and so all these songs, Sembera went to #1 on Sanyo FM. Yeah, so that to me was...
It crossed over, actually.
And I was on radio, like I was on Hot 100 here. And it's as #1 on Sanyo.
As an artist,
yeah, and I went, it was Big Ben, if you remember Big Ben.
Yes, Big Ben.
I had an interview with the great Big Ben, so... I mean, these were times that were changing, and I keep telling guys, yo, disrespect us so much, because we basically changed what the industry was like. We changed the perception of what a musician was. Not you don't have to do something that the industry is doing for you to achieve. Like I remember on Hot 100 you would never play a local song, like you'd never play a Ugandan song that was local, but I remember we played Potential.
Yeah.
And Potential became the sound of Uganda in just a few months.
Yes.
So Hot 100 was to me a playground for rebels, a playground for aggressive chaps who guys just didn't want to, you know, they just Rootweilers just didn't want to hear anything. And it just caught fire, because right now if you look at the industry, it's basically a Hot 100
it's
industry.
The template, almost.
It's basically like, guys, I mean, if you look at how DJs are now playing music at 1 p.m. on radio. If you check TV right now, guys dancing on from DJs from 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. This was all a construct of there are no rules. And that is basically what we were doing. And I was 20 years old when I was in there. So you can't tell me nothing if I have a morning show and I'm 20 years old and I'm talking to like a guy like Wardmal who was really like intelligent. I really think people need to give a lot of respect to that station for the platform you gave.
Because even just the genres, like forget American music, they were playing hip hop and R&B purely, which wasn't the case with other stations. They weren't really playing those genres. So
no, they weren't.
So it helped Ugandan hip hop on two levels.
Can you imagine the only person who had Luga Flow music was DJ Shiru?
Who had access, like the only
DJ you would go out to who had Ugandan like rap music was DJ Shiru.
And yet there were so many people. I mean, you have Sylvester and Abrams who started in the mid-90s.
These guys had their songs, they had their catalogs, the Zenzons, the Saba Sabas, the Babalukus. They had their own vibe. They came with their own world.
And
we came with our
Clear
Cut, the Meats, the Navios. All these guys came with their own world. We came with our own vibe. Like we came with our own flow, and it was because we respected those that were before us, that it became almost unstoppable.
You built on that. You knew where you were coming from.
If you remember, there were guys like Easy Tex. There was a Dav MC. There was so many. How
about the lady? There was the lady who had the song with Nick Nola as well.
Yeah, there was Saint CA, there was Lady Slike. We had a lot of rappers, so many. They are still there today. It's just that then all they needed was a freaking platform, a chance for me to be able to go on radio, have an interview for 1 hour about my album, something that I would never get on any other platform.
You know, another thing that you guys did was that segment called African Club Banger. So you made sure that every hour there was at least one Ugandan. So which was a huge step, because that wasn't really happening with the other stations.
I actually joined when that was the situation. There's a gentleman called Colin Mutambo, and he's probably one of Uganda's radio icons that people need to pay attention to. He's currently the general manager of Radio Simba. So he's been doing work. He was a presenter on Capital FM, and so he was the PD of Hot 100 when I joined. And when I joined, I guess he just read my energy. You know, I was coming from that entertainment prefect vibe. You know, that vibe where
St. Lawrence.
Like I didn't want to hear anything. You know, so it's like I get this guy's vibe, and so basically what he gave me was the chance to do music scheduling. But when I joined, I found they were playing only one African song in an hour. And the rest was reggaeton and boom pop and things of that nature. And there were the Sean Kingstons were the big deals. I felt there was a chance to have more African stuff there, but the biggest problem is we didn't have broadcast quality Ugandan stuff to play on the station of that state. So I remember every single Saturday for the 4 years that I was involved with Hot 100's music scheduling, every single Saturday morning I used to call artists. They come in studio and we listen to each and every single song that they have brought. But everyone should be there to criticize the song. That was mind-blowing. But of course, I got the backlash from guys who were not doing productive stuff, because they were looking at me like, so when in actual sense, I wanted to have top quality stuff. So, I mean,
they didn't know you were actually fighting for them, because before that, there was that opportunity, no one would have that time to come and listen to all this, you know.
And it's very sad that when when you have the energy in an industry and you really want to lead it very heavily, one of the things that I really feel sad about is that when you step away, that's the end. And it really hurts that we don't have that in the industry today. We don't have, I could say, media music mentors on air.
Yes.
You know, so I have to do this with people on a daily basis, but like on personal level, and that's never consistent because you have to pay me to keep consistent.
Yes,
but if I'm on radio, I should be doing it as part of my job.
Yes, you continue advice. Someone brings this and you say
on a daily basis,
you know, you're good at this and that.
Yeah.
But like if you had mastered the song a bit more, then maybe you know this could be a huge
it's
song.
Part of my job
like
as a radio personality to enrich my society and get guys to understand that I want to play your music. I want my fans to hear your stuff.
Yes.
But your stuff is not what my fans want right now.
Yes.
So unless you want me to create a show for you specifically to like get guys to know your things, but at least raise the standard here. At least go to this guy. Don't give me that 50K. You go and tell the guy switch these things up.
Yes.
You know, something like that. But we don't have that today. So if you come to me as Mckenzie right now independently, it's consultation and you have to pay me for that.
Because they're using your time and right now you're doing a lot of things.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah, speaking of which, Rude Boy music, how did you get into, I mean, how did that come about? I mean, Bigtril up to today, Bigtril, like, is recognized continentally and even globally because of what Party After Party did, but credit to Bigtril, he still comes back like on your birthday, the whole Instagram, you know, Instagram, everyone showed their love and support, and Bigtril was like, you know, happy birthday to my mentor. You know, that kind of, it's kind of like what Kendrick does with like Dr. Dre and all these people who, so going back, because for us who know Bigtril, we know that even before Baboon Forest Entertainment, before Sese Tula, or around that time, you know, this was like the hardest rapper, putting out songs like Drain Me Dry and Inside Outside and stuff like that. But in all these songs, he seemed to be bigging up Rude Boy music. So tell us, how did Rude Boy music come about?
You have to give credit to Bigtril and Eloquent. I don't know if you know a rapper called Eloquent.
Eloquent, yes.
Right?
Yes,
he's a gospel rapper.
Yes, yes.
We used to go to Sabrina's every single Monday.
Which year, around which year is this?
2009.
Okay.
2009.
Yeah.
2008, 2009. Bigtril was still like in S4.
Wow.
Or S5.
That time is like
around that, exactly. Around that time. So 2008, 2009. And DMS, who was the presenter on Hot 100, organized that thing where we used to basically just host different rappers and just get guys come through, there's a rap battle, there's this every single Monday. And I used to host a show for 5,000 shillings every single show.
Okay.
And my 5K was very important because it would take me back to campus easily. So this was complete love.
Campus at that time.
So when I get there, it's not even about the money, I just want to have fun. I want to know the baddest rappers and all that stuff. And I just got a chance to be on Hot 100 and Jam Agenda.
Yes.
So I see Bigtril and Eloquent rapping on stage together, and I'm like, this would make such a dope song. And remember, I've just met Hans, so like now all my connections are just like lighting up.
Yes.
So I tell Trill and I'm like, which class are you? He's like, I'm in S6. I'm about to get done. I'm like, when you're done, come back to Sabrina's, and let's see. And it was just I don't know how long it took. By the time I saw him again, it was more like, oh, you're literally back. Like he's like, yeah, I'm back. I want to work. So I'm with Hans and I'm like, yo, there's this beat that I have, because now this time I've been hanging with Hans, we've recorded some stuff, I've been going to Muddy Boots, I've been going to Baba Studios, like my game is a bit strong, like I can pull some shots, you know? So I tell him to go to Hans the next day and I send the beat to him. I tell him Hans has the beat, and this beat was Drain Me Dry. So he goes in studio, but you see me, I'm thinking, this is a kid I saw on stage rapping, let me give him this beat, let me see if he can eat it up. And I played on radio telling guys, this is a guy I saw yesterday, something like that. That song till now, when I listen to it, it's not some basic guy in Essex back.
I can't believe that guy was in Essex back at the time, because I mean, lyrically, as you say, up to today,
it was too much.
It's still like top 10 Ugandan songs.
There's nothing he said in that song that he has not achieved.
Nothing.
Not even one small syllable. There's nothing in that song that he has not achieved. So he did that song and a song called Love Lost, and I think that's when people started paying attention, and the first person who paid attention to him was a samurai. The samurai called him, and they had like a conversation, and then they did a song called Zizu. And this was the time when GNL got to also meet, because GNL used to go to Samurai, so all of them met there, and Bigtril and GNL kind of teamed up to do stuff. But because I would think, sort of discovered Trill, and I had also discovered Munji to top him onto GNL's team, it was easy for us to all like run together as a team. And so the first song I ever gave them to do was Sesetula. And
that was you as well.
Yeah, and it's the only song they have the three of them alone.
The three of them together.
Yeah.
And that was a huge song.
So this was never organized. This was just vibes. This was just guys like, let's just go and kill this shit and not care about what people think. And since then, man, Bigtril did so many songs on my Root Boy, from Straka Money to songs with STL, if you remember Stella Mwangi.
Yes.
So many different collaborations. I've always thought Trill should be where he is right now.
Wow.
So
and you know, it's funny that people are listening to Party After Party. You know, it's just if you think, you see, you're saying you feel old, but now even me, I'm kind of feeling old, because you get surprised. You're like, yo, people are telling you that Bigtril, I wish he could. I mean, he's not a true rapper, because imagine that song is just saying party after. But first of all, in that song, he actually goes hard in the verses.
It's probably some of the hardest bars that he has thrown out there in a while.
It's simply. It's been a long time since a song that had real rap bars went that big.
Let me tell you a simple story about Party After Party. I have a Sunday thing called Mix and Grill.
Yes, we selected J.
Yeah, so we shifted from Sky and went to a place called Exo.
Yes.
So Exo Lounge now is really the rowdy area of it, because it is an industrial area, so there are no rules. You go all the way. And I was really amazed at how people received it, because it came at the right time, and I'm really amazed at how I've been working with different people and they just do things magically. Selector J was the first person to download the Pastor Semper Party After Party,
the
and
video clip,
clip, and then he put it in his mix.
What?
So he put it there as Party After Party.
He extracted it himself.
So when he put it there, whenever you'd be like dancing, like sipping a Jameson, he Party After Party.
Wow.
So there's this evening we're hanging. I think Trill was there. There was all the other guys and stuff like that. And so Trill has started now, because you know he's learning how to play piano and
production. He locked himself up for a whole year.
So I had not seen him in a long time. And he told me, yo, you need to come through and check out my studio. I'm like, I'll come through. So we're hanging out, and then just let it go. So the next day is like, yo, by the way, you know that thing you guys were playing? I have some stuff that I did with it. Just, you want to listen? I'm like, yeah. This is the time when they just released Gidem with Big Benny Gunn, and it was a big song.
Huge.
And
they had done a video session.
He's like, I'm looking for another song to release. I have this, and he had this beat that sounded like, what's that song that Idris Elba, Sean Paul was on?
Posty.
Yeah, so he had like a beat that had that, and he had smashed it, calling guys, he was calling himself Tama, and he had gone in. So he played Party After Party for me, just only the chorus. And I told him, you need to send that stuff to Selector J like now. Immediately.
Just the chorus, and he'll play.
And I can't wait for him to tell this story, because it's super identical. He told me, are you sure? Because I don't think Striker is going to accept this. It's not that song you send to your label and you tell them, hey, let's release this.
Yes, and it's different from Gideon, because it's not so like structured. It's like, just a vibe.
Yeah, it was just a vibe. So I recorded some stuff there with him, because he recorded me. I have some music I'm doing, and after that he's like, yo, give me the guy who does your posters. I do this poster thing and I release it tomorrow on WhatsApp.
He had done the verses already.
Everything was done. He just played me the chorus. I didn't hear anything else. So the next day, history. Wow. So just look at how life is really very weird, that from his first song to his biggest song, I've kind of been close to him.
It came back full circle.
It makes you feel like manifestation is actually real.
Yes. There must be another realm.
There is a different realm, there's a different energy you tap into, and it's unstoppable. and I can't lie to you because I have lived that exact
And
life.
you can't have planned it or
Not at
predicted
all.
it, or
You just say, let's do this, and you actually, I don't know, bring it to life somehow.
you know what we're going to do? We're going to go into some of these songs. We're going to play Drain Me Dry. And after that, we shall come back. We'll play Drain Me Dry and Party After Party. No, we'll play Drain Me Dry and Iyo.
Okay.
Iyo was a song
I
from
love
your
that song.
Rude Boy Music album, which was with the people you worked with. So here is Drain Me Dry.
That's Bigtril.